in person.
Yeah, we're in person. Yeah, and Grace can't. She's like looking at the camera. You don't have to look at the camera. We're looking at each other.
This is different setup. Because now the camera and the person aren't in the same place.
Oh,
You know?
yeah, that's right.
Like this is a new situation.
Yeah. We talked about having two cameras, so the camera and the person would be in the same
Yeah.
place and then move it back and forth. But we decided not to do that. We decided to just be in the same frame.
I feel like that makes more sense. It's also easier for me to edit.
It is easier. So it's after Christmas.
It is after Christmas.
Yeah. And Grace is visiting me
I am visiting.
at my house.
I am visiting.
And hanging out with her cousins who are my children.
Yeah. And you are my uncle.
That's correct.
And I'm your niece.
Yeah, that's correct. That's how that
What is Sandra, though?
goes.
Is Sandra like my aunt-in-law?
Don't know.
That doesn't make sense.
But that might be what it is. Don't know.
I don't know. There's no name for that relative.
There might be.
There might be?
I mean, we can't, just because we don't know it off the top of our heads, doesn't mean that there's not.
I know, but
right?
I feel like I've never like acknowledged. Maybe it's because all of my family's like divorced, and so like the person that married in just isn't there anymore.
I mean, do you not just say aunt, and then like
The person's name?
No. I mean, she's your aunt, and then like, if you want to get all technical about it, you would say through marriage. Maybe you would do that.
I don't know. Because an aunt or an uncle is a sibling of your parent.
Yeah, that's
But
correct.
Sandra's not like through the marriage, she's not a sibling.
Yeah.
You know, because that's incest. So I feel
yeah,
like there's
which
another term.
Seems all right.
I don't
Yeah,
think
maybe
that-
there's another term. I don't know.
I think there is another term. But so I came to visit and I brought presents for everybody because
And we didn't.
I
get
thought I'd
Grace
make a good
anything.
impression. I thought it'd make a good impression on the kids, you know? Not really so much for you guys. But I was like, I'll bring presents, right? So we go shopping for presents. And
You and your mom.
Yeah.
Okay.
And for you guys. And we get each of them a present.
Okay.
And I think honestly, I don't even know if any of them succeeded as good presents. Because
I think mine did.
Well, yeah, but ironically. So I got.
I mean, did you really believe that you were buying that unironically?
No, yeah, but like it's a good present. Okay, so I guess.
Did you really believe you were buying that unironically?
Part of me thought
Grace
maybe it would be helpful.
Grace got me a 4.
Maybe it would be abuse.
Grace got me a 4-function calculator.
Yeah.
Like it can add, subtract, multiply, and divide, and that's it.
Yeah.
So my phone can do that,
Yeah.
and it's always with me, and it's smaller.
Yeah.
And my phone can do other stuff as well.
Like it's a ginormous.
And then
it's
also,
like this big.
I have Mathematica.
Yeah.
When I need to do that. So I was like, oh, this is a funny, ironic gift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also thought
mean,
like maybe.
For what?
I don't know.
I mean, okay.
I don't know.
Do you understand what I do?
Maybe not. I thought you do big math, so like maybe sometimes if you want to like go easy on the little math, you can use it. Right? You just said like if you need to use a calculator, you use your phone, but now you have an actual calculator that you can use.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna have that with me.
Why not?
I mean, I'm not gonna like carry it around with me.
That's true.
Like if I need to do a tip or something, like if I'm going out to eat, I'm like not gonna bring that to the restaurant. I mean, I hate to say it.
No, but like what if you like kept it in your classroom? It could be your new decor. We can get it framed.
Yeah, I mean that would be
We could get it framed.
That'd be like a funny, ironic thing to do with it.
It would be.
Yeah.
So that one, it was a good present.
Right? Yeah.
Not of use.
No.
And then I got. Can we use Sandra's name? Yeah, we can use Sandra's
I mean, we've used it already today.
Okay.
So yes.
So I got Sandra a pair of slippers because who doesn't like slippers? I love slippers. I made my mom get everybody in the family slippers.
Yeah.
Everybody has slippers.
Like warm winter slippers.
Warm winter slippers.
Yeah, they're great.
Like house slippers. I think everybody should have a pair of nice house slippers, right?
Yeah, because who's wearing shoes in the house?
You know.
Savages.
You know, my family used to. Well, does.
Ooh.
Yeah. I know. this is a new age. That's why I made everybody get slippers.
You made your family get slippers too?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Do you wear your shoes in your place in Belfast?
If it's like if I'm running out the door and I forget something upstairs, I'm not gonna take off my unlace my shoes.
Yeah, same.
You know?
Same. I mean, I wear Crocs, so I'd take them off because it's easy. But yeah, if I was like,
if you had a pair of like lace up shoes with a Velcro strap,
and I had to run in and do something, I would just do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So like I'll do that, you know.
Yeah.
And like sometimes like
but if you're like coming home for the day,
yeah, I'll take my shoes off.
Okay.
Unless I forget. Sometimes
yeah,
I
Sandra's
forget.
family was a shoes off family.
Yeah. I definitely try to like not wear shoes in my room.
I think my mom was not a shoes off person when I was growing up.
Mm.
But then I like went over to people's houses when I was a kid and they were shoes off families. And I was like, this is better.
Yeah.
And so like I started doing that from a young age.
No, it makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. Like last year, my flat was no shoes.
All of Asia is laughing at us that like it's a revolution that we're thinking about wearing shoes in the house because like they figured it out thousands of years ago and it's like not even a question.
And it's like totally normal. Yeah, I don't think we just didn't like really like for one, we didn't have like a mud room. So there's no place to like put the shoes except by the door. But like also we just didn't have a lot of rules in the house. You know?
Yeah.
And that was like one of the things we didn't have a rule about.
Yeah.
So we didn't. So I got Sandra a pair of slippers.
I mean, what about like the health of your feet, right? Like I don't want to wear shoes all the time just based off the health of my feet. Like it rather be barefoot and strengthen my feet and allow my feet to stretch out and stuff. Do you think about that when wearing?
No.
No.
I don't.
Okay, this is a thing that has come up is that Grace doesn't think about some things.
How do you silence an Apple Watch?
I don't know.
And why did it make a sound if I didn't even have a
Say
notification?
Apple Watch, silent.
Apple Watch.
That's definitely not what you do.
Siri.
I'm
turn
hosing
off. Wait, turn silence.
This is not. Yeah, this is.
I don't think that's how you do.
Okay,
I'll just turn the volume down.
Yeah, that probably works.
I don't know if it's actually turning the volume down. Before we get into that, so I got Sandra a pair of slippers, and it came to my attention that Sandra makes her own slippers.
Yeah, Sandra's a big knitter.
She's a big knitter.
She's really quite skilled.
Very skilled. Very skilled.
Yeah.
She's made slippers, multiple pairs of slippers.
Yeah, that's correct.
And I just purchased her a pair of slippers.
Yeah, it would be like buying her a sweater.
And I purchased that gift unironically.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to, to quickly edit as that is also an ironic
You know, I
gift.
will say that like she's an A+ at making sweaters.
Yeah.
She's probably like a B+ A- at making slippers. So like,
okay, so that makes me feel a little bit better.
Like a store-bought slipper is still like appreciated.
Yeah, I hope it is because I thought, damn, this is another useless gift.
Mm-hmm.
And then I bought his youngest, the daughter, a couple things from Justice. Now, as a kid, I loved Justice. When I was her age, I lived in Justice.
I like Justice as well.
Right?
Yeah. Like the concept.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about the clothing brand.
Right?
Yeah, no, Justice is great, right?
Yeah, the concept.
No, the clothing brand.
Okay. I thought
that is also great.
Yeah.
No. I used to wear Justice all the time as a kid. It's like a clothing brand. Like I would eat, sleep, and breathe in Justice clothes.
Mm-hmm.
Like I cried if I couldn't go to the mall. And
Like
get
at what
Justice.
age?
Like Ramona's age.
Okay.
Totally around her age.
I don't know that she's ever been to a mall. Oh no, we've got a mall in town. We go like once a year or something.
So I got her Justice gloves, a Justice hat, and a Justice sweater.
Yeah. Really cool, like tie-dye.
Really cool tie-dye, except it says Justice in the front.
Yeah. Not the concept.
Not the concept.
I thought it was the concept at first, and I was like, sweet.
And that was the one gift that I purchased that I was like confident. I was like, this is a great gift because this is what I would have wanted at her age. Uh-huh. And she was so unenthused when she opened up.
Yeah.
She was like, oh, what is this? What is this? She did not. She was
didn't
not
like the
vibing.
branding.
Yeah. So I asked her, I was
she
like,
liked
oh,
the
do you
colors
like it?
and stuff.
She's like, I like it. She's like, I just don't like this. No, I asked her. I was like, do you like the sweater? And she was like, no. The one thing that I was so confident was going to be great was terrible.
Yeah, I've got
Terrible.
Yeah,
Totally flopped.
my kids
Totally
are
flopped.
intense.
Yeah. I know. And then I thought about getting Enzo Legos. Well,
Yeah.
I knew I was going to get him Legos, but I thought like I wasn't sure about the Star Wars because I feel like you wouldn't appreciate Star Wars Legos if you didn't watch Star Wars.
That's true. And to be fair, he didn't like Star Wars for a while. For a while, he didn't
Yeah.
really like Star Wars. He was like, what's the big deal? But he did get into Star Wars recently.
Yeah, so if I would have known that, I would have gotten him Star Wars Legos, but I didn't. There's like a whole bunch of Star Wars options, but I didn't get those ones. So I got him a Batmobile
Mm-hmm.
because that's kind of dope. And I think he liked it, but he hasn't used it. He hasn't made it yet. What does that mean? I feel like if I just got Legos, I'd want to make them.
I don't know. Well, I got him like this fancy Death Star Trench Run Lego diorama set. And he had just finished that. It took him a couple days to put that together. So maybe he was like just fatigued of Legos.
Yeah. Well, I hope he likes it.
Yeah.
Because that's like the only gift I'm confident in now.
And then I ordered Grace a hoodie, but it didn't come.
Yeah.
Because I think that all the like mail and stuff was slow around here because of ice storms and stuff.
Yeah, I think I'm
Not
missing
in our
out on a
town,
few
but
presents from my parents and
yeah.
stuff because they just all of it's like stuck somewhere.
Yeah.
Like the gift from my brother is not there. The gift from my dad isn't there.
Oh, I wonder if I can reroute it to you without having it done
I
here.
think you could. That's what we had to do with some of our
We
other
should
gifts,
try to
but I
do
don't
that
know if
afterwards.
that's-
Yeah.
Figure that out.
What's your address?
And I don't know. Well, what's your dress?
I don't really care. That was just a bit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Should I start? Here's my question to you,
Mhm.
G Race. Should I start recording the podcast here, even when we're on the computer? Here's how I thought to do it. Wait, whoa, hold up a minute. Here's how I thought to do it. I would put you on the TV. You would be on the TV.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'd figure out the thing with the arm or whatever. We couldn't figure out the arm for the microphone.
Yeah, the arm just didn't work.
Figure out the thing with the arm with the microphone, and then I hang on the couch and like look at you on the TV, like I'd be couching it up.
Yeah, I
think it'd
I
be
would
pretty
like
sweet.
I would like to be doing something similar. You see, what I was thinking was like, what I feel like could be interesting
Mhm.
is that I feel like we can do the thing where the camera's in one spot and the screen is in the other, and then frame it so that the videos look like we're facing each other.
Yeah, well, what
Do you
I
know
would,
what I'm saying?
Yeah, what I would do is I'd put the camera like right above the TV, but then I think this is exactly what you just said. But since the TV's far enough away from the couch, it won't disrupt the eye line. Like when you're on the computer and the computer's right next to you, having the camera like even the tiniest bit above the computer screen disrupts the eye line. But the TV being that far away, I don't think the eye line will be disrupted. You feel me?
Yeah, that's not what I was saying, but that also makes sense.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was saying like you could have the camera in that spot and the TV in that spot, and then and you could still be looking there, but then imagine me having the same sort of setup, and then the video would look like we're facing each other as opposed to facing a camera.
Oh yeah. So there's like some sort of
Yeah.
some sort of some sort of virtual quadrilateral, but
Yeah.
where like
Sure.
where like our cameras are like sort of playing the one vertex. No. There's a virtual triangle.
You know,
So like
yeah.
our cameras are playing one vertex. I'm a vertex and you're another vertex through the screen. I mean, that's interesting as well.
This isn't the math channel.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah. But that's
Yeah.
yes, that is exactly what I mean. That's yes.
Yeah.
Yes. In more complicated ways. I feel like mine was a little bit more simple.
No. I think we said the same thing. I think it was just I described it.
Yeah. Okay. I described it too.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, I guess you did.
I did. I did.
Yeah, I just didn't
Yeah.
understand it.
Yeah, I know.
So yesterday we moved me into a new office at my work.
We did.
I don't know, like maybe I'm put together some B-roll of us moving things in. You can put that over the thing right now.
Yeah.
I'll put it in the folder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there's B-roll.
But your kids are in it.
So I know people don't show their kids or whatever. I'm a bad person. I show my kids.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah, I don't care.
Do you judge me for that?
No, I don't care.
Am I monetizing my fatherhood
I'm in the STC journal.
as a child?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, not as not their age. I was like a teenager.
Okay.
I was a child.
Yeah, I mean, you're still
My
a
name's
child. I mean, your brain
I
doesn't stop
know.
developing until you're in your late 20s.
Yeah. But legally, I'm not.
Yeah, sure.
Legally, I'm fully an adult.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
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 But I mean, what matters more, the law or the science of when your brain stops developing?
I don't know. I don't care. But I do know. I do know that I'm legally
Yeah,
an adult.
there's this comedian I follow that I really like, Taylor Tomlinson. Have you heard of this person? She has this joke where she's she's telling a story about doing stand-up. Like that's the story. It's meta a little bit, right? Because she's doing a stand-up routine. And part of the stand-up routine is doing a story about an earlier stand-up routine. And anyway,
meta.
I don't remember exactly how it came up, but she talks about how old she is, right?
Yeah.
And then someone in the audience was like, hey, but your cerebellum or your frontal lobe or your something in your brain doesn't stop developing until you're I don't remember the age, 27, 28, 29 or something.
25.
No, it wasn't that.
Oh.
Yeah. And but that might be the actual number, but that's not the number she said.
Yeah.
And then the person was like, oh yeah. So you're not done making weird mistakes yet because your brain isn't totally developed.
I don't get it.
I don't, she was doing bits about going on dates with bad people and stuff like this, right?
And then they were like, oh yeah, it's because you're not.
Yeah, I mean, it's a joke, right? So some of it is embellished or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, that's how I know that fact. So check out Taylor Tomlinson. She's really funny.
Yeah, that's my mom would tell me and my brother that to tell us to not drink and smoke.
Okay.
To preserve our brain until it's fully developed.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was
Sure.
yeah. So you just found out about that?
Yeah. I mean, I guess if pressed, right?
Yeah.
If pressed before I heard that fact, I would have probably speculated that it was in mid-late 20s and not early 20s.
Yeah.
If pressed, I would have speculated that. But I don't know that I had ever internalized the fact.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So did I know it before? Maybe kind of, but not
Not know it.
Yeah.
Be aware that you know that.
Right, exactly.
I know. And how old are you?
43. So my brain is essentially useless because it's so old.
What? Really?
I mean, kind of I mean, I don't know if this is true or whatever, but the conventional wisdom is mathematicians can't do any important work after a certain age because their brains aren't good enough.
That's intense.
Yeah, because your brain gets too rigid and doesn't think fast enough and can't think abstractly enough after a certain age.
Wow. So this whole age bring wisdom thing, do you think that's a lie?
Well, I mean, we just have to be honest about these things, right? There are parts of your brain that stop working as quickly over time, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. as you gain life experience, you're able to bring different things to the table.
Yeah.
Right. And so,
But you're
you
not
just have to
technically the
recognize that,
sharpest.
like, as you go through life, things are going to change. Like, there's some spot in your life where the processing power of your brain is going to be at its peak, and your ability to abstract things is going to be at its peak, right? And it's going to decline after that. But that being said, if you spent a bunch of energy like learning a lot of stuff up until that point, or if you like still learn a lot of stuff, then you're going to bring all of that previous knowledge to the table as you like keep going, right? So, it's like yeah, I mean, so you have to think about it like you're adding two graphs, right?
Yeah.
You're adding like the actual processing power of your brain, and then the knowledge that you have, right? I mean, those are totally different, right? You can know more stuff, right? But not be able to abstract new ideas as well, right? But then like your total intellectual ability is some sort of sum of those two things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like, hopefully your knowledge can keep going up,
Yeah.
right? Forever, because you can keep learning things, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that peak processing power is going to like do one of these things, right? But the sum,
it's gonna be just kind of
it like, they're going to cancel out in some sort of way, and perhaps you'll get some like asymptote or whatever.
Yeah, but just things
It'll
take
like
a little
trend
longer.
to the horizontal.
Which, when you think about it, is kind of what you think about old people anyway.
Yeah,
they're just a little slower.
Yeah, so I don't think
they can
like
still be
this
intellectual and have
wisdom of
wisdom,
So I think like this wisdom of age, right? Yeah, I think that's a thing, right? Because you've like had life experience or whatever, and you know the important things to think about, right? And you know how to approach a problem or a situation or whatever. But like, I mean, there's a reason that like a bunch of really important mathematical things happen from people in their late 20s or early 30s. Or there's a reason that like chess champions are a certain age, or even like a newer thing. Like there's a reason why professional gamers age out real quickly, right? I mean, they age out more quickly than like mathematicians or chess players, right? Because like,
I did not know that.
yeah, because one of the first things to go is like your ability to have high, what's the word?
IQ?
No, that's not the word.
A high,
like really quick
Reflexes.
hand-eye reflexes, right?
Reflexes, yeah.
And like that just really quick like synapse processing in your brain, but that's going to go away, right? And so like the best like competitive gamers are like, I bet, I don't know the details of this completely, but I bet 25 would be ancient.
25?
25, yeah.
Oh, I don't think so.
For a competitive gamer, for like a StarCraft player, I bet it would be.
I don't know. I'd give it at least like 30.
Okay, well, we'll look it up afterwards, but
I bet it's like at least 30.
Yeah, I doubt it.
It's at least 30.
I hate to say it, but I doubt it.
Yeah.
Really?
I
think it's real young.
Hmm.
And that might, that might change over time. I mean, there's a generational thing right now.
And now, what does that say about our politicians?
I mean, we don't need to get into it, right? We're like, I don't remember the word or whatever, but like, there's a word for being ruled by like people who are too old, right? And we're in that.
Yeah.
Like the United States government is too filled with people that are too old.
Way too old.
Yeah.
Like there's like a county in like
California
or something. There's like a county.
I'm just kidding.
There's a county in like California or something. I saw it on like Daily Mail where they just like elected like a 19-year-old boy.
Cool.
It's the way of the future. No, I think it's dope.
Yeah.
I'm happy that he won.
I want Gen Z to take over as quickly as possible. Yeah. Like,
do you think we should
in general, they have better ideas.
This is true.
when they think through them carefully.
Did you know that you have to be 35 to be president? Now, do you think we should lower that age? I think we should lower it to at least 30.
That's a good question, right?
Like, why 35? Like, I get the life experience thing. That's totally reasonable.
Yeah, why 35? I think it's because, like, that is seen to be the sweet spot of, like, this having enough life experience, right?
Yeah. Which is fair. We don't need somebody who's,
I
like,
mean, what's
70.
the youngest person that's ever been elected?
I think it was
JFK, probably?
I think it was like Obama. Obama was like, maybe that was just the number.
I think he was late 40s.
Yeah.
Anyway, what I'm saying is, like, I don't know that I have a strong opinion about this 35.
Hey Siri.
Stop bothering me.
Who is the youngest president of the United States?
Oh, we're doing that.
It was JFK.
Well, how old? When was he born? Because we can kind of figure out from when he was born, because he was president in 69.
He was hardly past his first 1,000 days in office.
When he died? When was he born?
He was the youngest man to be elected, and he was the youngest to die. Hold on. He was born on 1917.
1917. So he was in office in 69. So he was, like, in his very early 40s. Wait, 17 to 69? No, he's in his early 50s. Do Hey Siri, how old was JFK when he was elected president?
Hey Siri, how old was JFK when he was elected into office? Here's what I found. 61. Not 61.
I mean, that
61 to 63.
I mean, that doesn't work with those numbers that we just, like, saw.
What do you mean?
Like, he was
You
born.
came up with 69.
Well, I just know that he was, like, president when we landed on the moon, and we landed on the moon around then.
He was the 35th president of the United States from 1961 to 63.
Oh, he was president from 61 to 63?
Yeah, what did you think we were talking about?
I thought he was president in 69.
No. Well, that's not what this is saying.
Okay, well, anyway, he was youngest. Okay, so I don't know.
He died in 63.
Oh, okay.
That's not helpful, though. Yeah, he died in 63. So 17 to 61.
Oh, yeah. So 17 to 61. So 17 to 57 would be 40 years. So he was, like, 44 years.
44 years.
So I've got another year to be president to catch up. So,
hey Siri, how old was Obama when he was in office?
I think this. So, why can't you just answer, Siri?
I know. Okay.
Okay, so he was born in 61?
Yeah.
He was elected in 2008.
Yeah.
So 61 to 2001 is 40, so 47.
So, yeah. Hey Siri, who was the youngest president of the United States? Roosevelt, 42.
Okay.
42.
Well, anyway, like I don't know that I have opinion on this 35-year-old thing because I don't know the arguments one way or the other.
Yeah. Same.
And
I just think it's interesting.
It seems sort of like I don't know. Is it something? I feel like there are more important things to, like, look at before we look at that, but it also kind of seems like a moot point given the likelihood of someone like young being elected or that young being elected. But anyway, like I said, I don't have a strong opinion.
Yeah.
Because I'm not educated enough in that topic to have a strong opinion.
Yeah, I just think it's interesting that, like, you know, you talk about mathematicians and, like, video gamers and, like, all of them and how they age out. Yeah. I just think, like, chess players, like, to draw parallels into, like, positions that are of different value to society. Why is it that, you know, like, fast reaction time and ability to problem solve effectively and efficiently isn't valued as high. I just think it's interesting.
Yeah, I do too.
You know?
I do too.
Like, I think that's
the
kind of
I mean the
fascinating.
time frame of making a decision as a politician is longer.
Yeah, but not always. Not always. Sometimes you need to quickly react to what's
but
going on in
but
the
like
media.
for a video game or whatever, right?
It's
Like,
instantaneous.
you know,
almost.
you have to react in like a tenth of a second or
Yeah.
a
But
hundredth
like,
of a second.
I think
yeah.
there's some political scenarios when like crisis occurs where it's like you need to be able to think on your feet.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you.
You know, and so
Yeah.
I think that's a valuable, and also to like get things done, right?
Yeah.
To not have like
And
a
also
lazy
to like
government, right?
abstract ideas.
Yeah.
To see like
Figure out what's
to
important.
see like the real connections that are underneath things.
Yeah.
I'm reading this great book that I want you to read and us discuss on the pod.
Okay.
It's called The Joy of Abstraction. And I think I might give you my copy and then buy a new copy. And anyway, she makes like this point that having the ability to abstract things is very important because you can see like connections between ideas more clearly. And she gives some like really important examples with like trees of privilege. What I mean is like, so different types of people and like the sort of partially ordered set of their privilege and other things like that. Anyway, she makes a really important take that sort of mathematical thinking, abstraction, is really what's important for the modern age, because technical mathematics, computational mathematics, which is essentially all that's taught in school, I mean, is essentially can all be done by a computer, and it doesn't like so what, right? But like being able to abstract ideas could make everyone sort of like a better member of society because you could like see connections.
So we should all learn technical mathematics or
abstract mathematics.
Abstract mathematics.
Which read the book, right? Read the book, because like I feel like you're gonna think that abstract mathematics is one thing, and then you'll read the book and you'll see that
it's not.
Yeah. Abstract mathematics is not like solving for x.
Yeah, I figured because that's like what I learned in school.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah. It's like it's there.
Is it like thinking about what the fourth dimension is?
No, not at all.
Oh. That'd be kind of dope.
I mean, that's a cool idea, right? But yeah,
that is not abstract.
No. I mean that's that's concrete. I mean, we know what it means to have more than 3 dimensions.
Do we though?
Mm-hmm.
Do we?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's very clear, like, what a vector space with more than 3 dimensions, or what a, like, surface with more than 3 dimensions.
Is the tetrahedron the visualization for it?
A tesseract, I think you mean?
Tesseract. What's a tetrahedron?
A tetrahedron is a 4-sided polyhedron. So it's made of 4 equilateral triangles.
I can't visualize that.
So you got a triangle on the base, one. It's like a pyramid with a triangle as a base, like a pyramid. Triangle as a base, and 3 triangles on the outside.
Why did that come to my mind? I don't know. I thought
it's
I was
sort of
tesseract.
Similar word.
Yeah. Okay.
Kind of.
Mm.
Yeah.
Tesseract.
It's sort of like a reasonable thing in my mind. Yeah.
I was almost.
Anyway, I'm like totally into this book, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and there are like sort of personal reasons, right? Like I do technical mathematics. Like my research is like very technical or whatever. And I'm like kind of bummed out by that. Because I don't think it's as beautiful as like very, very abstract mathematics. And I'm just like not, I almost just said that I was not good at doing abstract mathematics, but this is just like where I found myself. I do have a knack for doing really, really technical stuff. And I wish that I had grown my abstraction muscles more. But I mean, I can still do that or whatever. Well, and the person.
Not if you age out.
Yeah, I'm aged out. there's actually new research that says the brain is like more plastic as we age than we thought in the past or whatever. So like what I said in the past may like not be quite as fixed as we used to think it was, but that's why I said the prevailing theory is that mathematicians can't do anything important after they're like 35. But that might be. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean,
Wow.
like if I apply for a job, right? Is a school like looking at, they can't look at my age because of rules or whatever, but you know, they have my CV, so they saw when I graduated college, and it's not too hard to reverse engineer an age range from when I graduated college, right?
Yeah.
And they can like get an idea of an age range, and they can think, oh, well, he's like not as smart as a 35-year-old or 30-year-old. Not able to like, he will not be able to contribute as much to math. Like in this impossible situation in academia where I have tenure, which is great, right?
Great.
It's great. But generally, if you have tenure and you're not like super famous, right? And it seems like being YouTube famous is not super famous. That's what it seems like to me.
Well, you're not super famous yet on YouTube.
That's right. I'm like B tier.
Yeah.
So if you're not super famous in math, right, then you generally, it's very difficult to get hired if you already have tenure somewhere else. Because like there's this thought, oh, you know, we don't want to like take someone away from having tenure and like have them go through the process again. Maybe they won't try as hard, or like we don't want to put them in that situation where they might not get tenure where they already had tenure and stuff like that, right?
Could you leave and then come back to your tenure?
Yeah, I can get a 1-year leave of absence.
And like apply somewhere else or like work somewhere.
Yeah, but like, yeah, sure. But,
Yeah, but
you know,
like,
you can't get tenure somewhere else in a year, right? The shortest tenure clock I could envision would be 3 years. And I can't like have a leave of absence for 3 years.
Wow.
Okay, so anyway, we haven't gotten to the impossible situation, right?
Yeah, what's the impossible situation?
Like that would be fine, right? Because my school, I like working at my school.
Yeah.
It's great, right? I think I've talked about this, right? We like do a lot of like good work, right? We educate like population that generally was not focused on educating in the past, right? And we also have, our college has a very good track record of like changing life trajectories, right? So I was talking to another, I was talking to another friend who works at a super fancy pants school. I've got a bunch of friends at super fancy pants schools, so you can't like figure out who it is, and I won't name who it is. And he was like, yeah, you know, our place is great, but we're not changing trajectories.
Yeah.
Right? Kids are coming to my school and, you know, they're leaving and doing great things, but they would have gone somewhere else and done great things if they hadn't gone to my school.
Yeah.
Right? We didn't change any trajectories. And by any, you know, that's an exaggeration, like, but not a huge. But my school, like by the numbers, right? We track our graduates and stuff, and we like change the trajectories of lives, and that's great, right? Okay, so that's great. I like my job. We're like doing good work. So here are the facts. I like my job. We're doing good work. I've got tenure. It's hard to get a job when you have tenure somewhere else. That being said, my school is failing.
Yeah.
Right? And it's going to seem necessary to get another job at some point for me. Just to like stay, like to have a job, right? You have to have a job to like eat and stuff, right?
Yeah.
I don't agree with that, but you do have to have a job.
Yeah. That's the world we live in.
That's the world we live in.
Unless you want to go buy a farm and be self-sustainable.
Yeah, but even that, you need income. Because, like, you can't live for, I mean, you're going to have to pay taxes on the farm, right? You're going to have to, like, pay for gas for your tractor or, you know, buy clothes. You're going to have to do some things, right?
Yeah.
you like
complicated.
can't go totally off the like economic grid in the United States. I mean, maybe you can.
Maybe you could. If
maybe
you
you
really
could.
wanted to, I think you could.
But my family would not be down with that.
No.
Okay.
You'd be down with that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
If it's a rock climbing area, maybe. But anyway, that's
Yeah.
neither here nor there. Okay. So I've been like applying for jobs, right? Because I feel like I need a job somewhere else that's not going to fail.
Yes.
Okay. So this is the impossible situation, right? I have tenure and it's impossible to get another job when you have tenure. I mean, just to like condense it down to those two things. Have to get another job. I mean, my school's not failing in the next couple of years, right? But by the time, unless we turn it around, like knock wood, touch wood.
What are the efforts to turn it around?
I don't know. We're like adding all these programs, which I won't comment on. We're like trying to recruit students better, et cetera, right?
That's a good way to do it. To get students, yeah.
Yeah, all this kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
They're not asking me to plug them on YouTube.
Yeah.
Which seems like it could be helpful. I've tried, but they don't seem interested.
It's weird.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, that's what it comes down to, those two facts, right? Like by the time I really have to leave, I'll be too old to want to leave. Right? Like if the school, if the school like closes, right? It'll be at a point where it's like a little too late for me to like really move, right? Like I won't have any youth left.
Yeah.
Right? I still have youth left, sort of.
Yeah.
But you can't get another job because I have tenure, or it's like very difficult to.
This is like the Impossible Burger. It's impossible.
Have you had it?
No.
It's gross. I mean, you'd probably like it.
Well, this is an impossible situation.
Yeah, it's an impossible situation.
So
I don't know. So anyway, I've been living with this impossible situation for like 6 years. So, you know,
Yeah.
I compartmentalize. Like, it's essentially fine. It doesn't bum me out as much as it used to.
There's hope.
Unclear.
Unclear. Well,
Unclear if there's hope.
Well, you'll figure itself out.
Yeah.
You have a nice place here. It's a nice house.
Yeah. I like the house or whatever.
Yeah.
The situation is not like we don't like the house, or you know.
Well, yeah, but it's something.
I don't like my work.
positives.
The situation is not that. That's not the impossible part of the situation, right?
No.
The impossible part of the situation are these two things that I can't control that are like dueling with each other.
Hitting dooms.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I know. I think just like time will tell. I mean, I don't know. I'm like taking it. I'm taking. I mean, what?
It's a tautology.
Yeah. It will tell. Because that's like, I mean, like I can't offer any.
We'll
like,
know
bright
what
insight.
happened.
I mean, I'm gonna just hang out for the next like 2 years to figure out what the fuck I'm gonna do. Like, I have no idea. You know, like talk about like I don't know what to do with my degree.
Yeah, I mean, in some ways it doesn't matter.
Well, yeah. So in some
in
ways,
some ways, like you go to
school.
You go to school not to learn things, but you go to school to like develop your learning muscles, right? That's like really my take.
Yeah, but like you're learning to develop a particular muscle to conform to a particular type of education way of learning, not just learning in general.
Yeah, that's true. And that's like definitely an issue.
I say the skill that comes out of that is just adaptation.
Well, and that's definitely an issue with like our whole system, right?
Yeah. That's just
well, and like I think that from what I glean just like talking to you, it seems. Yeah, like what I understand, glean.
What the fuck is that?
From talking to you, the UK education system seems like a bit more rigid.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Rigid in the way that they have their expectations that are like very narrow. Yes, that's what rigid means.
Well, I mean, like you have
that was a synonym.
Yeah, you have a certain strict type of stuff that you're learning, right?
Yeah, but I'd say that that's the same in the U.S. though. No.
I don't know. People at my school are doing rad stuff where like it's a lot more open ended.
Yeah, I feel like there's more like diversity of like subjects in the U.S. I don't know if that makes sense. You know, like my brother is thinking about applying to a sports media master's in Texas. There's
At
University of Texas, Austin
Okay.
has a master's in like journalism for sports media.
That'd be dope.
That'd be dope. And then I was like, oh, you should think about doing a master's overseas because it's cheaper. Because he'd be paying $20K for 2 years or a year, and paying that for both years.
It's not really
So
that
$40K.
bad.
Yeah, but you can get
I mean,
like
for
for the US, no.
For the US, it's not really.
for the US, it's not that bad. But like, I was like, oh, like consider overseas, and he was like, yeah, I looked into that, but like, nowhere in Europe can you do that. Like, can you study like sports journalism in the way that that program was? So I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, you know. He tried to say that like sports isn't big in Europe, and I was like, Alec, just stop talking.
Yeah.
I was like,
different
just don't.
sports are-
It's just different sports are different. Like, and he was like, you can't tell me. Like, he was like, what sports do they have? They only have soccer. And I was like, I just don't. I don't know what, like, I know the other sports that they have, but I don't know, like, what's their equivalent. Cause, like, I'm not.
I think bicycle racing is big.
Okay, we'll go with that. But, like, I just think it's like, I don't think it's fair to say that, like, the U.S. has more sports. Like, I think that's just not true. Like, I feel like gymnastics is, like, big in Russia. From what I get from the Olympics. So I don't really know if that's actually accurate. But they put a lot of effort into doping their players. So I feel like they must put a lot of time and
like
energy
off
into
the
it.
rails here.
You know? Like I just feel like that's a thing in Russia. But anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about these like super specific programs like that. And my reasoning is that you're not like educating the whole person. Like the better thing to do would be to like educate someone like broadly and give them the tools to do a number of different things, including sports journalism. Where
did you just describe liberal arts education though?
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
You literally described, yeah. That's like all of.
Yeah, I did.
Like,
and like Alec's already doing sports journalism.
Yeah, I know.
Like I guess like getting a master's would like.
And then getting
he would
into
be
more
like
debt
paying.
than he already is
No, he'd be like, okay, so here's my take. And I don't know if this is true. But I think it's a pretty good take.
What?
My take is that would be like him paying for contacts. Him going to school and maybe learning a little bit, but not like actually learning that much because he's been in the game for a while, but really just like getting contacts out of the situation. Like maybe like someone at a big big sports media company he would meet.
Yeah.
Or like he would meet someone at like a big team or whatever. Because I think like there are sports media people that work at teams and stuff, right? I think, I don't know. Maybe I'm totally off base.
No, I get what you're saying. I think that could be an option.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Is that like the wrong? Would that make him doing that wrong? I don't know the answer to that. Does that make it like inequitable? Yeah, because only people with a certain type of privilege can even like go into the situation of like paying to go to that school in the first place, right?
Yeah.
To get those content. Like it's inherently sketchy if you're like mostly paying for just to have to contact with a certain people.
Yeah. I don't know if I would like. I just wouldn't want to spend 40K on another education to gain a degree.
Yeah, I mean, would he get aid?
No, he's not eligible for aid.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because he's no longer. I think it's because since he's like actually an adult, he's not covered by his parents anymore, right? Legally.
His parents? Your parents?
Our parents. Yeah. By the parents
I annoy
anymore.
myself sometimes.
Right? What?
I annoy myself sometimes.
It's okay. So do I. But like, so I don't think he's like actually eligible for financial aid. Well, he isn't, but I think that's why. Because he's no longer like.
I don't think so. Sandra went back to school like when she was older and got scholarships.
Maybe it's the degree then. That he's doing.
She went back to school in her 30s, and yeah. It could be. Yeah,
maybe it's the
it could be.
Then,
yeah,
because
it's not his age though. It's the degree program.
Okay. Never mind.
Yeah, but I mean, he's not here, right? So, or does he listen to this anymore?
No.
Alexi, we kind of miss you. Do we not miss you?
No.
I do.
We can have differing opinions.
He's your brother.
Yeah, I miss him. I didn't actually get to say goodbye to him.
Oh, well, you can call him.
Okay. Yeah.
So, wait, what was I saying?
I don't know, but I feel like this is a good place to stop because this is an hour for one video.
No, just let me say this one thing.
Okay.
I mean, the calculus that he has to do is how much will doing this program change his
Professional standard.
financial trajectory, right? And then it could very easily be worth it.
Yeah.
Like it could very easily net him a job making 20K more a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I mean, especially he works for a tiny newspaper in Ohio. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it could very well
open up doors.
Yeah. So, I mean,
or at least open up doors in Texas, and then he can like.
I would just not be worried about that price. Yeah. Like Sandra's school was expensive, but I mean, she became a nurse practitioner, which earns kind of a lot of money. So that was pretty good. Okay, so we're stopping it?
Yeah.
Okay.